First and foremost, I want to give on this Sunday I missed church, so giving all giving the honor to God honestly for this game. To me, it was a trap game because they hadn't won a game in our conference, and I knew they were going to play well. And I thank God for allowing us to push out far enough to where this little run that they made in the second half, it really didn't matter that we just kept the lead.
Penny, when do you have a performance like that where your team looks just kind of dominant for stretches? You know, you go on that 22 to whatever run in the first half, and then maybe not so much in others. How do you grade that out, and what do you, does that make sense? How do you assess this performance?
Yeah. Obviously, we have moments because, again, we're still trying to figure it out. We are. I keep saying the same thing. It's a new team. And we've seen so much greatness and brilliance from the group from Hawaii until now that when we play poorly, it looks bad. But when we play great, it looks great. We have our moments. And I'm just blessed and I understand and happy to have a group that can get it going because we know we can beat anybody when we get it going.
Is it almost kind of head-scratching to you that, you know, from the start of the season all the way through end of December, it looked like y'all had figured it out very, very early, you know, kind of one of the best teams in the country, and now you're still trying to put some of the same pieces back together. Does that confuse you at all?
Well, I tell you, man, it's weird because the teams that we played in non-conference were more talented, with way more talent, but the AAC just fights to the death, man. They don't give in, and people don't want to give this conference credit, man. This is a bare-knuckle conference, and you don't play hard, anybody can beat you on any given night, and it's not like that in every conference. We feel like every night is a matchup of just fighting, not really more about basketball. So in the non-conference, it wasn't as physical. In our conference, it's more physical. So the game has changed. Like you said, when we thought we were figuring it out, go to FAU and win by 30, that's not going to happen every night. And then you play North Texas and ECU, two physical teams. Then you go to Philly and play Temple, a physical team. Then it starts to happen.
Do you feel like any of that is maybe something you've alluded to before, the lack of engagement from your guys when it comes to opponents like, you know, the AAC teams, or no?
I don't think so. I just think that we got to give these teams credit. I mean, obviously we want our guys to be locked in and focused the entire game, but, you know, the energy that guys in other teams play against us with is totally different from what they play against with any other team in our conference.
Hey, Coach Shane Connick from the Charlotte Observer. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Same.
So when you come into Charlotte today and playing in front of a good packed crowd, the whiteout theme and all that, and a good battle back late, just what do you have to say about the job that Aaron Fern and Charlotte has just done with this program?
Man, Coach Fern is one of the best coaches in the country. I mean, last year's team was ridiculously great with so much talent, and then you can tell they had a lot of guys to leave. Obviously, we know what these guys are. Patterson is at Minnesota, Milicic is at Tennessee. These guys, Jackson is at Iowa State, and they're all doing well for their respective teams. But as of this year's team, they're going to put it together, man. They're not this bad to where they're 0-6. They've lost some close games. They're not getting blown out. They have talent. And he's done a phenomenal job for Charlotte. You know, he's one of our best coaches in our league for sure.
Coach, Charlotte comes out to the 11-10 lead, take a timeout. What was the message of that timeout? Because it led to a 20-3 run. What did you think?
Yeah, for us, it's just, you know, we knew they were going to have the energy to feed off of. It doesn't take much to say Memphis is coming to town, be ready. And we knew that we were going to have to withstand some runs of theirs because they were going to be playing on a high. We just tried to figure it out early enough to try to push away and make it harder for them, and we eventually did that.
Penny, I heard some of your comments on pregame radio talking to Wolo about kind of how, you know, angry you were after the Temple loss. Mm-hmm. What were those few days after that loss heading into today? What was that like? Was it?
It was just eagerness and anxiousness, honestly, to get to the next game. Because when you lose a game of that magnitude, the way that we lost it, 22 offensive rebounds is dominating. And we got dominated by Temple. Kudos to them, tip your hat to them, and we were just ready to get to the next game because we knew we could be better.
Just two more.
And with some of those flaws, whether it be defensive rebounding and turnovers, I guess particularly the turnovers today, what do you do to address that? I know you've tried the ball rack and 17s and other stuff. Like, what's next? Like,
we have the ball rack, we have push-ups, we have 17s. It's just, again, these guys are trying to make the right play. It's just at the wrong time or the wrong pass, and it's just hurting us right now. We're so close that if we can, like last game we only had 10, so that was pretty good, and then we come back today and have 16. and this guy's really trying to do the right thing. So you can't be so mad. But when you go through a game and you have everyone that played that has a turnover, it's starting to get a little crazy. Your point guards and your main ball handlers maybe, but not everybody. We just got to tighten it up. Keep tightening it up.
And the last thing you mentioned after the Temple game, that your concern level, wasn't high yet or whatever it was. What is it at now, at this point of the conference slate, and how much are you itching personally to get one of those wins that reminds you of where this team can really be come March?
Yeah, well, I've kind of put myself in this bubble of being the best team in March, even though we're harshly judged with what we do. The only team in the top 25 is probably going to get judged away because they don't respect our conference. I'm trying to be the best team no matter who we play in March. That's what I'm trying to do. If we're as good as we need to be in March, then it doesn't matter who we play. We'll be ready. Right now, it's tiny steps, like in little increments, of us doing some things great and then doing some things bad. And that's just going to happen right now. We're just going to keep trying to wash away all the bad stuff and keep building off the good stuff. Thank you.